Hi, I'm Lizzie Baking Bird and I'm a baker in Upway, and today I'm going to show you what to do with your leftover bread, because at the moment we really don't want to be wasting stuff. So I thought we'd do bread pudding, which is proper old-fashioned, but it's really tasty. So the first thing we need to do is obviously cut your bread, and I would go for, I mean I've got loads of bread here, but probably kind of like 2 loaves, like that. Whatever. You can use sliced bread, you can use old hot cross buns, you can use well, almost any bread to be fair. You can use wholemeal, you can use rye, you can use sourdough, and I'm just using 2 long ferment white breads. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is check you've got the right amount of bread. So you need to weigh about 500 grams. That's just under, so we'll have a piece of this as well. Just cut the crust off because, well, you can use the crust actually, but I just tend not to be fair, but doesn't really matter. So this is 500 grams of bread. Yep. Okay, so you need to tear the bread into pieces and you need to put it into a bowl. And I'm going to use this one because it's convenient. So 500 grams, so literally you just want to tear it into pieces. The beauty of this bread pudding is the fact that it's a lovely cheap dessert. You can serve it with a lovely cup of tea in the afternoon, a little drizzle of custard, or you can use tinned custard or make custard, or some clotted cream on, a bit of ice cream, and it's well, it's really nice pudding. It is, I mean, it's dreadfully old-fashioned, but it's just such a good way to use up the bread, which is obviously what we want to be doing at the minute, because well, everything's in short supply really, isn't it? So we've got all that torn up. You want to add 500 grams of fruit to this, so put it on the scales, and it's mixed dried fruit, so anything you've got's fine. I mean, if you've got something knocking about at the back of the cupboard, that's perfectly fine. I like a few cranberries because I'm really into cranberries, but you know, if you've tried them, got a few knocking about, pop those in. Okay, so you've got your bread and your dried fruit. You want about a tablespoon and a half of mixed spice. I mean, I don't really measure it because I'm a bit of a freak for mixed spice. I love it. And you want 2 largish eggs. Now I actually have got a goose egg here, which is probably the equivalent of nearly 3 medium eggs anyway, but because someone gave it to me, I'm going to use it. These are quite spectacular, the goose eggs, to be fair, if you can get it in there. Right, so that's my egg. So that is, you know, it's the equivalent of 2 large eggs, I would say. So you want to pop that in as well. And then you need 600 millilitres of milk. And that is, let's have a look. Okay, so that's about 600 millilitres. And then if you squish that together, and then we'll add the other ingredients, which is going to be lemon zest and muscovado sugar. So what you've got is that, and you literally just squish it together. So you get it in there and you give it a really good squish. You want to make sure the egg's kind of broken up, mixed around, and it's literally just to make sure that the fruits mixed up with the bread, and that the spice is all through, and that the egg is in there, and just make sure everything's kind of coated with the milk. So that's what you end up with. Okay, so you pop that in the oven at gas mark for about an hour and a half, and we'll see what it looks like then. Okay, so that's the beeper going, so we'll just check it. Oh yeah, and that is beautifully risen. Can you see? And if you press it, it's kind of firm to the touch, but it's but moist. So that is your bread and butter pudding, and we'll wait for it to cool down a bit, and then we'll cut a piece out. Now, if like me you've used a loose bottom tin, which generally they probably say you shouldn't for bread and butter pudding, but I lined it with grease proof, so I have used a loose bottom tin. The easiest way to get it out is like that. So if you stick it on a can of whatever you've got, and Bob's your uncle, and that is your bread pudding. I keep wanting to put bread and butter pudding, but that's a whole nother story. But this is your bread pudding, which to be honest, you want to serve it with a lovely cup of tea. It'd be lovely. So we'll just cut a piece and see what it looks like. It's still a little warm, but that's okay. I think we can risk that for a biscuit. There we go. There you go. And that is bread and butter pudding. So serve it with clotted cream, custard, ice cream, whatever you like, or afternoon tea with a lovely cuppa, preferably Dorset tea, obviously.